you know what? You take a day off and some nutcase has to blow up a little fucking RV and knock out communications all over the state of Tennessee. Ah, man. Go figure, right? Well, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas day and got to spend it with my family, and hopefully you got to as well, and tell your governor or your premier to go fuck themselves and spend some time with those you love. And unfortunately in Tennessee, it was a little bit tough for some people out there because we had a camper van blown up in an intentional act, according to BBC. On Christmas morning, a parked camper van exploded in the U.S. city of Nashville, Tennessee, early on Christmas morning, injuring 3 people and knocking out communications across the state. Possible human remains were later found near the blast site, U.S. media report. Okay, that doesn't exactly seem out of the norm for somebody who would normally drive around a camper van. Normally that's reserved for people with casts or people asking a little larger women to help them put this couch in my van. Would you? Are you about a size 14? Police believe the powerful blast was caused deliberately. Yeah, based on what we see in the aftermath was, like, we got some pictures down here and holy fuck. Dude. Yeah, and that dude went right downtown. We know it's a dude. We know somebody, a person of interest is being pursued by the FBI right now. And the mayor of Nashville and the governor have said that they're going to be looking into this to the fullest extent of their abilities. And it was right downtown. It was right in the heart of the music and entertainment district. And yeah, the FBI's been on the case, but holy shit, what a weird thing to have happen. Okay, like we've seen terrorist attacks happen in France, and it's been rather quiet over on this side of the ocean, but yeah, I guess this is kind of a, well, not even kind of, this is a domestic terrorist attack because somebody who is a person of interest right now, somebody might have done it, might not have. Law enforcement officials in Tennessee have identified a person of interest in connection with a Christmas Day explosion in downtown Nashville and appear to be searching a man's home, several news outlets reported Saturday afternoon. While no arrests have been made, agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigations and the ATF teamed with officers of Metro PD to search the Antioch home, believed to be that of Anthony Quinn Warner. It never fails. Whenever there's somebody who does some shit like this, they always have 3 names. According to CBS, Warner, a 63-year-old white male, is said to have a mobile... the fucking RV. Stop being so wordy, you bastards. That is a similar make and model of the one that was seen at the blast. The video and photo of the RV taken prior to the explosion also appear strikingly similar to Google Maps photographs of a vehicle parked in Warner's yard in approximately May of 2019. Holy shit. That right there is some sleuthing. I'd imagine they probably would have ran plates based on, traffic cameras, but that is some 4chan level of going back and using alternative sources to figure out what the hell is going on. A team wearing tactical gear marked with both ATF and FBI insignias entered the residence and cleared the home around 2:30 p.m. The bomb squad confirmed no one was inside. According to the FBI personnel at the scene, the evidence team entered the residence around the time and conducted a search. Daryl DeBusk, an FBI public affairs officer, told the outlet that the authorities were on the premises to conduct court-authorized activities relating to the investigation, which suggests a warrant was obtained. So they're pretty certain this guy has something to do with it. If he wasn't the person who took the RV there, he was definitely in connection with it. The blast, which happened around 6:30 in the morning, was preceded by a loud computerized voice emanating from the RV that warned people to evacuate the area, saying the vehicle would explode soon. Interesting. Evacuate now. There is a bomb. A bomb is in this vehicle and will explode, the voice said, according to the Tennessean. The voice then changed to a countdown for the final 15 minutes before blowing up, destroying several buildings and knocking out wireless service for a significant portion of the region. Yeah, this was relatively close to, if we just go back to this BBC article, as you can see, there's the AT&T headquarters, their big building there. Relatively close to that, and also very close to some communication hubs, as the BBC reports in the article here. So honestly, this dude, just me looking at the evidence that we have here, it just looks like this dude just wanted to cause some trouble. Like, he didn't want to kill anybody, but he also could have been covering something up, because it says down here, Metro Police Chief John Drake said it was unclear whether the bomber was in the vehicle when it exploded, but confirmed that tissue found at the scene could be human remains. On Saturday, FEMA said that the tissue samples were determined to be human remains, the Associated Press reported. Further details are still unfolding. Yeah, I'm just going to switch over to this Wall Street Journal article. Yeah, the Blast took place next to an AT&T switching station, caused widespread outages in cellular and internet services in Tennessee, Kentucky, and northern Alabama that were continuing Saturday. Stephen Flynn, director of the Global Reliance Institute and Northern University in Boston, said many cities have buildings that were once filled with telephone operators but have been repurposed with servers and other electronic infrastructure. We told a lot of critical infrastructure in plain sight where you can cause real disruption, he said. And yeah, I don't know if it's specifically that vehicle driving to where it blew up, but they just say here, Metro Police Department shared a photo of a wrecked vehicle that later blew up. Yeah, that's what it was that blew up, apparently. So Marcus Sachs, who researches cyber and infrastructure security at Auburn University, experienced a telecom outage at his home in northern Alabama. Mr. Sachs, who previously advised the White House on infrastructure security, said that the Christmas bombing demonstrated why people and firms should consider using several carriers for backup protection. So this, once again, one of these kind of crises and, I don't know, acts of domestic terrorism. I think that's probably fair to label it. Once again, just exposes how these corporations don't really have much more than just a surface plan. But then again, if this dude if he ends up being the guy who fucking blew up in this van, I'm just going to take that angle of it because that seems kind of likely. There's not a lot of information of Anthony Quinn Warner online. I did a little search, tried to track down any information, but he's a 63-year-old guy. Not a lot to go on. I would like to see his employment history, see where he was working at the time. Maybe he used to work for AT&T. This is all speculation. Don't take any of this as anything more than that, obviously. But I think in the next couple of days, we're going to see where this guy worked, try to figure out a motivation, and I'm just wondering if he's just trying to get back at these corporations. This dude might have just lost his job due to automation or due to the lockout or the lockdowns, and being 63 years old and not having anything else to do. And I don't want to get too morose, especially because this happened on Christmas, but people in a rather emotional time kind of lash out irrationally sometimes. So it really looks like, yeah, most of Nashville is going to be out of telecoms. Yeah, just landlines and cell towers. That's all it's looking like right now. And right now, yeah, Mayor John Cooper has imposed the curfew on the area until Sunday at 4:30 p.m. and urged people to stay away from downtown until the FBI concluded its work. Yeah, I'm just going to say, I think that this was somebody who was probably in a bad spot mentally and probably went down there and acted out totally irrationally and blew up some kind of switch station that he knew was there because he probably had firsthand information, knowing where that's at and where he could cause the most damage without actually hurting anybody else and just disrupting people and disrupting AT&T as well. And not to kind of turn this into a PSA, but if you're feeling any way like that, there are many, many other avenues to take, and I'm not breaking any new ground here by saying that that's not the way to act out, obviously. Yeah, but until we know more, it looks like communications are out in Tennessee, northern Alabama, and trying to get some cell towers back up, and Nashville's downtown was closed up even further. Nashville's one of those, or not Nashville, Nashville's the city. Tennessee's been one of those states that's been kind of touch and go when it comes to restrictions, and a lot of people that are fleeing from California are either stopping to Texas or going a little bit further over to Tennessee, and some people from New York are fleeing down there and Illinois as well. So it's a happening new state, and for this to happen kind of really sucks. And until we get more information on motive, anything more about Tony Warner here, that's pretty much all we know at the time. See what happens after this curfew gets lifted, I suppose, and once the FBI and the ATF release any more information. It's good to see the FBI getting off their ass and actually doing something, though. That's a positive, I suppose. But yeah, I suppose we'll be following up on this story the more information comes out. But that's the cursory glimpse into what happened yesterday morning. I think I'll leave it there. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.